When you say you're going to go, you got to go.
Let's go. It's time. Put on play pants.
All right, it's episode 102. That's 102 episodes of the Play Pants podcast. It's not a pant, it's pants, right?
I feel like you got caught up and you forgot how to count in the middle of 102 there too, as well.
I know, I'm not good at this. And 102 episodes in, you think everyone's got that figured out by now. Jason Ginty, Rod Ryan. It is episode 102 of the Play Pants podcast. And I fucked up the beginning because I've been sitting on this question for many days now. I've been sitting and just boiling and freaking out about the question I'm about to ask you right here out of the gate, coming in hot.
Can't be good.
It's actually wonderful. And I really hope the answer is yes. I really do. And you're going to know why when I say it. So young Rodney went out to Las Vegas, went to the Sphere. I saw a piece of news come across, and there were some things that happened maybe when you were there. Now, you went to see U2 in the Sphere, and there was an article that came out over the weekend that Bono busted into a Harry Styles song called Sign of the Times. He did like 45 seconds of it. My question I am posing to you is, holy shit, was it when you were there?
Dude, I think I would have remembered that. I had a couple of beers. I know you're hoping that I would love to have been there.
Oh my God.
I really cannot tell you that I remember that. I mean, I remember the show.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he did not do that at my show. Now, I didn't go to the weekend show. I was there on a Wednesday night.
Okay.
So
yeah.
He's had some special guests on stage. I think Lady Gaga went up there. I mean, no special guests when I was there. But I was there last Wednesday, and the Sphere is the future.
Yeah.
They need to drop these things everywhere. I don't know like what cities are going to be next, but the one thing I learned about the Sphere, it's a publicly traded company. So there's going to be more of them.
Right.
And it's $1 billion to build one. So probably Dubai is getting the next one. I don't know where they're going to be, but London, maybe big cities around the world. It's awesome. There's nothing that's nobody oversold it to me. I talked to a few people that went to shows before I went, and there was no letdown at all. I was primed on how expensive everything was going to be. Drinks are a lot, blah, 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 all that. My tickets were ridiculous.
Right.
The one thing that I did, I bought my tickets late, so I had to go through a second tier like a Vivid or a StubHub, something like that. And I'm honest about it. I paid like $850 for the seats, and then it was $300 tacked on as a service fee. That's what I paid.
What the hell is it service fee for? Like, is it cost $300 to fucking swipe the card?
It's a percentage of the ticket price. They're not doing any more work.
Bullshit.
It's just whatever that ticket price is, the service fee goes up, which is even more criminal. So beyond that, I mean, yeah, it's $1 million to go. Okay. Right. So I could have bought tickets on the floor for approximately the same price. I could have bought 100 level. There are 400. There are 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, and 400. I could have gotten the 100 level and then the 400 level center. And, like most concerts, you've been going to concerts forever. You want to be as close as you can to the band. Not this time. I've seen U2 a bunch of times. It wasn't about getting close to them. It was about taking in the Sphere. So I elected to go 400, which I feel like I made the right choice. Now, obviously, anyone else that's moving forward, if you can get in and if you want to get 200 or 300 level, that would be clutch.
Gotcha.
But if you look at the videos that I posted, that stage, they're far away. It's big. It's a 20,000 seat venue. I didn't know it was that big.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That is huge.
It's big. It's awesome. The graphics, I felt like they used them properly. I didn't feel like they overdid it. I think a lot of thought really went into it. But I also feel like this is just the beginning. If U2 is doing how, like, if it looks as awesome as it does now, boy, what are they going to be able to do down the road? You know,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
if they're just, I mean, it's the first one in the world. So it's cool because the video screens are on the outside as well, you know, and it's got, you know, it's always imaging something. It looks like the moon sometimes. It looks like a big eyeball. You know, it's going to be interesting to watch. And I know you're not into it either, even though you're kind of a weirdo car guy, but for some reason you don't watch car racing.
Right.
Formula One,
Right.
the city was pretty fucked up. It's all cut up right now, which they must be making so much money for them to fuck up Las Vegas. Okay.
On purpose.
The walking experience, the driving experience, for them to damage maybe somebody's first time ever going to Vegas, they must make so much money on that Formula One because they really have that city cut up. And there's grandstands everywhere. And you can't just walk down the strip. I like to do a lot of walking. So you got to keep going back and forth, over and back.
See, that blows. I like to just cruise in the strip up and down, you know, as you're going from casino to casino out in the street and seeing the shit.
Yeah, and for me, it's not even about being so much in the casinos. It's just about being outside and walking. It was really nice weather and everything. So I walked to the Sphere because I wanted to see it during the day. Turns out it's not that great to look at up close. It's better from far away. It's like just looking at it, and it's like, oh shit, it's huge.
It's like putting your eyeball on a Christmas light. You're like, this isn't that great.
Yeah, kind of. A
little distance, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's the future. I mean, it's got to be on everybody's bucket list. I know that you've been to Red Rocks, so I checked that off my list. You know, the Sphere, I think, is now added to the list. I don't know where else you have that you want to see a show. Did you see anything at the Hollywood Bowl?
I don't think I ever have, but that's like a legendary old school place you want to go to for sure. Like the Greek Theater and out there as well would be a good one, you know.
Yeah, but the Hollywood Bowl is something that I would want to go see a show someday in Los Angeles. I can't think of what else. I mean, you know, it'd be awesome to go to see something at Wembley Stadium, but once you get in there, it's another stadium. I'll say this about, you know, I've been to a couple of shows at Madison Square Garden. It's not special. Madison Square Garden, as a matter of fact, it's old. Okay. So it's older than what? Your Smoothie King Center. It's older than the Toyota Center. There's nothing really special about it other than a million things have happened there.
Right.
But there's no Madison Square Garden is in New York City, and it's so dense and compact. When you're walking up on a football stadium or you're walking up on Yankee Stadium, okay? Oh, it's amazing. You know, and same thing with the Astrodome, the Superdome. You can walk up on it and you see it, and it's like this amazing thing. Because New York City is so dense, you're just walking. It's like, oh, there it is. You know, it's just, it's amongst all these other buildings. So I'm just saying, I don't think if anyone watching and listening feels they have to put Madison Square Garden on your bucket list to see somebody. I
mean, if you're in town, it would be worth it. But you know what? That's like the third or fourth Madison Square Garden that's been built. It's not even like an original one. They've torn it down and built it a bunch of different times over the years too. You're going there because it's so famous. That's all it is. It's not because it's great. What was the sound like in the Sphere? Because that is important. And that's hard to pull off live. You know, it's gotten better over the years. But what I've read is the sound in the Sphere is like supposed to be great. Is it better?
It is great. I had heard when the Sphere was first announced, they were talking about like speakers. I didn't feel like the sound was coming up from the floor or anything like that. I did feel like it was coming from in front and around me. So it did have a surround feel to it.
Oh, that's cool.
I did read something about, you know, like it was just going to be revolutionary and there was going to be, you know, under the seats and everything. I didn't pick up on that, but it was very clear. It was unbelievably clear when you go to some of these shows and it gets a little distorted. They got to kind of fill up a stadium. They got to fill up. I mean, the sound is great. I mean, it's adjusted. And I think there's a difference when you go see a band that's doing a residency too, because, you know, from a mixing board, boom, you've got all those shows before yours to get it right. No one's touching that fucking board, man. It's like, nope, we got it down. It's the fourth show. We have it perfect. Nobody even look at the board. You know, so the sound, it's mixed and perfect, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
you get that with the residency, you know, you can mark the board and move it from city to city, but every room is different. So
Yep.
when you go see a band that's set up and playing every night in the same spot, I think that adds to like how great they sound.
Plus, it's all brand new stuff and everything like
Yeah.
that. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Now, the rumor is too, and not to get back on the Harry Styles thing, but God, that would have been so cool if it had been you'd have pissed your pants.
Oh,
You'd have pissed
yeah,
your pants.
I would have definitely remembered if they done that. Like I was feeling pretty good at the show.
yeah, no
I
doubt.
would have
Right.
I would have remembered.
So there's rumors that we've talked about this before. Well, who goes next? Because U2 extended their dates out like after the first of the year, I think into like February maybe. Now the big
Yeah.
rumor is Harry. Harry might be the next guy. And then when Bono did that, everyone went, "Oh fuck, it's gonna be Harry. This is a little teaser." Now that's
Is
not been
that the-
confirmed.
Is that the only reason that's the rumor? Because Bono did that?
That like kicked it into another gear. The Harry, I don't know what Harry's people are called, his fan club, you know? Like Lady Gaga's got the monsters. And
Yeah, they're
Taylor
called the
Swift has got the
Gitties.
It might be just me. It might just be me. I'm in all the fucking Harry Styles chat rooms. Yeah, man, he's totally gonna be playing there, dude.
He's like moderating. He's like he's got a little pin machine. He's sending out pins.
By the way, the big rumor now is that Harry apparently shaved his head. He wanted to look more like us.
Aha! Hey, listen, all the cool dudes are doing it, Harry. So
I mean,
welcome
come
to
on,
the club,
Harry.
bro.
Welcome to it, brother. So anyway, that's why I want to bring up that question. I'm like, holy shit. Because when I saw that, I went, oh my God, no way.
I read that Fish was being talked about.
Ugh.
Ugh. But like I said with Red Rocks, when I went to go see my buddy, because I you were only there a short period of time. I never even got over there to see
Right.
it when you were there. I went to go see my buddy Chris, who lived there, and I went during the summer. Most people go visit their friends in Denver in the wintertime because they want to go skiing.
Skiing,
I happened to go see him in the summer, and I said, "Oh, Red Rocks, I don't care who's playing. We're going to go to Red Rocks." I said, "I'll buy the tickets for you and your wife. But if Justin Bieber's playing, we're going to see Justin Bieber." I go, "Are you down with that?" He goes, "Well, let me look." And the night we went, it was Brit Floyd, which was a Pink Floyd tribute band, which, you know,
That's cool.
I'm not the world's, nor are you, the world's biggest Pink Floyd fan, but they're kind of endorsed by Pink Floyd. They're, you know, like, this is the best thing next to us. And for all practical purposes, I saw Pink Floyd, you know, and
Right.
it sounded, and it was an amazing experience. It was like, you know, Red Rocks is like going to church. Elon Musk said that the Sphere is a modern day Coliseum.
I could see that. I could totally see that. It's revolutionized the whole game. Now I hope what they do, because, you know, I mean, that's a ticket price that most people are, you know, that's a hefty price. They're going to put Fish in there and the ticket's going to go down to like $150. Then I'm going to go see Fish.
Okay, so
You know what I mean?
I think the ticket prices ranged between 3 and 7 when they go on sale. Okay, a friend of mine went to go, and he just got tickets when they went on sale. It's possible you can get tickets
Right.
still when shows go on sale, but all these U2 shows sell out right away. So I think he got in there for $400, kind of where I sat. I paid double.
Okay. That's not terrible. I mean, it isn't. I mean, it's a pretty going rate ticket for a decent band. If you want to go see the Eagles on their tour right now, it's going to cost you that. So I suppose.
Yeah,
terrible.
I just got blown up this morning by a listener who was he was so mad that he was trying to get Eagles tickets and they were, I don't know, $1,000 or something like that. Now, do you go back in your memory? I feel like the Eagles started that whole thing when they first got back together.
Hell Freezes Over tour.
I want to say that the ticket price was $200 or something, and we had never heard of anything over like $125.
Or 100 even.
I feel
for
like
that.
the Eagles, maybe $100 was like the most, and this is going back not that long ago. I mean, 20, 25 years.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like the Eagles are the ones that came in and just said, "Fuck you, man. $225. You want to come see us, man? You're never going to see us again." Liars. Every
Wow.
band lies. I, in my memory, blame it on the Eagles they didn't just go up $20 from everybody else. They went up $120 from the highest ticket price.
Yeah, because they knew their
That's what
audience.
my memory. That's what I remember.
Yeah, because it was such a huge announcement that, oh my God, they said they were never going to get back together. And it
Yeah.
just blew up and they went, okay, let's go make some sick money. And they just went, fuck it. And it was all the boomers who were like, well, all right, I guess that's what I got to
Yeah,
pay.
they knew that their audience was older and had money.
They had the money, so they just, and then of course now from that point it's just blown up farther and farther. I mean, you go buy a Rock T-shirt. What's a T-shirt costing nowadays? $55.
$50 for a U2 t-shirt.
For
Just for a tee, $50, which, the double, I don't know what we were doing. It was like $60 for a couple of drinks.
God,
like we were doing super. I'm a gin and tonic. I'm a big gin and tonic guy now.
oh, you're
So-
a gin and tonic guy now. Okay.
Double gin and tonic. I think they were $30 a piece. I think.
Jesus Christ.
I think.
But if you go to a Saints game here in the Superdome, I think beers are like 12 or 13 bucks a shot. It's like, well, glad I quit drinking. Holy shit.
That was I'll tell you what, BuzzFest, long time ago. I remember getting 2 beers. Now, they're the big ones too. Don't ask
Right.
me the ounces. And I remember laying down $20 and her looking at me. Pass it over, choppers.
Hey, Blue, what year you think this is, dog?
Yeah. I can't get 2 beers for under $20. That was a long time ago.
That's messed
No,
up. That's messed
I
up.
don't know. I mean, it just you bitch and you moan about it. And one emailer said, "Rod, we can just stop going to the shows."
It's
And
pretty
I said,
simple math.
You have a great point, but there's just somebody there that's going to fill your seat. So
Yep.
do you really? They got us by the short and curlies. These bands. I appreciate the stance. Well, I'm not going to shows. I'm not spending that kind of money. Okay, that's cool. It's like the people that got pissed off at the NFL a couple of years ago. It's got the people that got pissed off at Bud Light. Okay, and if you held your ground and you didn't watch the NFL anymore because somebody was kneeling or because of Bud Light, did you really hold your ground, or did you stop for a while and then you went back?
Yeah, you went
I
back.
tend to believe maybe the Bud Light thing. I think that really did piss off a lot of people, but the people that said they were no longer going to watch the NFL because people were kneeling during the national anthem,
Right.
I would guess 98% of those people came back to watch the NFL.
Oh, absolutely, they did. The ratings are higher than they were 2 years ago. Come on.
I promise there are a few people that said, "That's it. I'm done with the sport." And I think there are people, it's like the same
That's
people
fine.
that say they're going to, when somebody wins an election, they're going to leave the country. Nobody ever does.
No.
A few people have.
You get
So-
mad, you get, whatever. You go back to it.
The thing that I was thinking of, your son, I was thinking of London, and I know we brought this up before, but when I was a kid, when you were a kid, you could work at your supermarket. I could work at the restaurant. I could wash dishes, and I could save up enough money and buy a ticket to go see my favorite band.
Yep.
Jason Ginty, his parents did not buy him a ticket to go see Van Halen. He went around in the wintertime and grabbed all the shopping carts and brought them in from at the grocery store, right?
Smash
And
them up, bro.
you saved all your money, but you were able to. Now go back to Harry Styles, somebody that when we're talking about when we're our age, when we were young, that's their favorite guy. Those tickets are $400, man. You can't have a dishwasher job and mow lawns, and you could mow every lawn in your development, and you're not going to save up enough money to go see Harry Styles. That's a huge difference right now from when we grew up.
Yeah, it makes it very, very hard. It's like, and it's a shame because there's so many great bands that are still rolling around, but they've priced themselves out of the average person, I mean, even like I still go to shows and I would go to more, but I look at some of the cost and I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm not going to that one. Holy shit, man. I'm just not, and people think, well, you work you Mr. Program Director, you program some radio stations, you get all the free tickets. Not like it used to be, man. It is not that game that much. I mean, sure, I'll get some here and there, but it's never for like the great bands. It's always for like the C-level bands. Oh, you want to go? Nah, I don't want those tickets, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those deals. So I feel the pain for someone who's going to want to go. Well, look, Taylor Swift, you fucking $1,000. You want to go? And she sold 3 nights out or 3 or 4 nights here at the Superdome next October. Sold out. And those tickets are so ridiculously priced.
She's
Sold
playing 3 nights
out
there.
3 nights at the Dome in New Orleans, 3 nights,
Yeah.
sold out.
Because it's a great destination city.
It's an event.
A city,
She's brilliant.
a city your size was not getting 3 shows.
Nope.
But because people want to make a weekend out of it and they want to go to New Orleans, you know, you're lucky that you get that many. Now, this city, Houston's huge. I think we got 3 shows here.
Yeah, that makes sense because of the population there.
She did 6 shows in LA, right? SoFi Stadium.
I think so. Yeah, she's doing like a bunch in Toronto and stuff. But I mean, you know, when you think about it, okay, so just from a New Orleans standpoint, you got 3 shows Taylor Swift in the Superdome. Okay, that's in October of next year. In 2025, that following winter, we have the Super Bowl. There's gonna be more people here for Taylor Swift than the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there will. You're absolutely right on that.
What the hell, dude? Like, it's insane what she is pulling off, and I don't know how she's doing it, and I don't know how they had the balls and the brains, obviously, to figure out, okay, wait a minute, Taylor Swift, let's just put her in fucking stadiums and do like 3 or 4 nights per city and just change the economic makeup of that entire city for a week. Like, how did they know that that was going to happen?
I wonder, though. I mean, I don't think anything's bothering them. But right now, Metallica's running around.
Right.
And they just did some kind of show in St. Louis. You know, they had 100,000 people there.
It's insane.
Because of the configuration of the stage, how Metallica plays in the round.
Right.
And I think most people, I mean, I know we talk about Taylor Swift and it's most of this audience, whatever audience we have, you know, she plays and she kind of probably has the stage somewhere around the 15, maybe even the 20-yard line.
Right.
That's where the stage is. And then that whole back area is dead. You can't sell those seats. Where Metallica playing in the round, boom, man, you can fill that whole bowl up. You got people on the floor all the way around. So when it came to SoFi Stadium, they have the record for the most people.
That's right.
Why doesn't Taylor Swift have the most people? She's got the most people over 6 nights by far. She's played to the most people in that stadium by far. But when it comes to a single night show or Metallica with their 2 nights, you know, they can play to more people.
Right.
Can Taylor Swift, does she need all of that shit behind her? Can you imagine them even trying to make more money and like put her in the round and even pack in another 20,000 people per show?
She could.
20,000 people per show at $1,000 a seat. You do the math. That's what she's missing out on. I mean, she's not missing out on much. Okay.
She's a billionaire now. Yeah.
I'm just, you know, get every seat sold, man.
I mean, even at that point, you're like, you know, it's like
Metallica,
it's like,
if you could borrow their stage.
Right. It's like when people always say, well, you know, once you're certain, you know, you're wealthy, you're rich, you know, why do you care about more money? Because you always want more of everything. I mean, why wouldn't you want more money? You know, why put all the effort in and not maximize everything? Whether it's $7 or $7 million, you maximize it. You know what I mean? Like make it so it economically makes a hell of a lot more sense. She's like giving bonus, what it was, $100,000 per bus driver and shit. Like everyone on her crew.
The semi truck drivers.
Fucking
awesome. She gave them like $100,000.
That's why people love that lady. Damn,
yeah.
She's so fucking smart. And you know what? I saw her years ago with my daughter, and she was great, man. I mean, she ain't my bag of tricks, but she's fucking great live. I mean, if you somehow get your ass a ticket, I'm not even kidding. Go, because she's great. She's fucking great, man.
Let's go back over to the Sphere really quick. You know, we all have our wish list, but it also has to be somewhat makes sense. You know, you just can't go plucking stuff out of the air. But AC/DC.
Yeah.
Brian Johnson is 76 years old now.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
They don't want to be out on the road, do they?
That's a beating. That's all they've done all their lives.
I know, but 76.
Ah, man.
So I'm just throwing it out there. Residency.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The Sphere, or, you know, anywhere in Vegas, really. Anywhere. But the Sphere, you know, I think AC/DC is globally, you know, I think they're big enough.
Oh, you could do a couple months run. They could do a couple months for sure. You know, I think they are. I think they could do a couple months, and that would be so fucking cool. Think about the shit they could do. Well, the graphics with the cannons and all the bells and the shit. That would be really, really cool to see how they pull that off. That would add a whole nother element to an AC/DC show, which is already great.
And that's the thing. But the thing about AC/DC, the things that you just mentioned, the bell and the cannons and all of that, those are actual props, and a whole lot of Rosie and that big inflatable.
Yeah.
It would all just be on the screen. It's so minimal. There's not even an amplifier on stage with you two. They're playing on this turntable, and it's just the four guys.
That's insane.
And there's no props or anything. And
Wow.
one of the things that's great about you two, or the AC/DC, is they roll out real cannons. Is it going to be as good with cannons on the screen? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say anything's not great on that fucking spear screen.
I just think the creativity that it opens up would be cool. You know,
Yes.
you don't necessarily have to have cannons on the screen, but you could have smoke. You could have fucking shit flying around you. You could have, who knows, man, interpret the lyrics, whatever.
Before you two comes on the stage, it looks like these huge it's like a brick wall. And then they start to crumble, and it looks like the dust is coming down and everything. It's it's so the visual, it's so real looking.
Let me ask you this.
Crazy.
Remember the old days at Disney World? You had this one ride where you'd walk in and you'd stand there, and they had railings. You didn't sit down, you stood there. I forget what the damn dumb ride it was, but you stand, and they put this video on. It was over the ceiling. It's like a 360. This is early days of this technology.
Dude, there was one in Niagara Falls. It was called To Fly.
Yeah. And like,
the movie was called To Fly, and you were in a sphere.
correct.
And the movie was all around you, and you thought you were flying over Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and what it does is though, but they would warn you, like, hey, so like, did you at any time feel like sick or vertigo or anything like that? Because sometimes that could be a problem in a big place like that.
But what you're talking about, I got sick as shit going to see. The movie was called To Fly.
Right,
And-
right.
But then I went to the one at Disney where London and I were in the seats.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, and
Love that.
It looked like I felt like my feet. I was going to kick the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
It looked like we weren't going to make it.
Fucking
We're
great.
not going to make it. We're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. We just made it over the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like that. There's no roller coaster feel, at least in the 400 levels, with a couple of $60 gin and tonics in me. I did not have that feeling at all. I get motion sickness. I can't go out on a boat. I can't go deep sea fishing. I can't do any of that shit.
Man, you're a little bitch. You can't do anything fun. The hell?
I didn't feel like that at all. I didn't. It was just amazing. That was it. It was just amazing.
Because I know there's been times when I've been at IMAX, and if shit gets wild in a movie scene, I'm like, I gotta close my eyes and be like, whoa, fuck, man, I gotta take a knee here. What the hell's happening? And that's what I was like, oh shit, I would hate to spend all that money and sit there and be like fucking losing my mind because I got motion sickness. $800 later and $70 drinks. I mean, fucking $60 highballs, and I'm like on the floor crying. That would suck.
I wasn't drinking highballs, jackass. Hey, give me a couple of Harvey Wallbangers. Hey.
Gin and tonics. Holy shit. Can you get some martinis over here, Bond?
I'm a big gin and tonic guy, bro. Okay?
That's good. It's delicious. So, man, yeah, I'm dying. I want to get out I just like going to Vegas. You sent me some pictures. You were on Fremont Street. I fucking love dirty old Fremont Street, the Golden Nugget, and it smells like hot piss. And there's old ladies and shit, and it's smoke. And I love that old Vegas shit.
About 8 years, I think I told you. I said, dude, I've been out here. We were texting, and I said, dude, it looks totally different.
Yeah.
I haven't been here since the kid. So pre-COVID kid, 5, 6, 7, 8 years that I hadn't been to Vegas. And you're like, really? I love that place. What do you go all the time? Dean Martin?
No, I've been, I think 3 times. I went a few years ago. My wife got a deal through work, and we went out there. And that was fucking awesome. Another time I went, and Jennifer Lopez was doing a residency. My wife's a huge fan, so we went out to that. Surprised her, took her out there. It was fucking wild. But yeah, no, Vegas is good, man. I just dig. And then I don't gamble because I don't have money and I suck at it. So I kind of learned a long time ago, maybe that's not for me. So like we'll go out and have drinks and fuck around, but then we'll go see the shows. But then like you go and they got like these tours you can do of the mountains, the mountain range out there, and you can fucking hike and do all that bullshit. So it's like, oh, go sweat out the Harvey Wallbangers you're drinking out in the goddamn mountains there, which is beautiful as well.
I've done it every which way. You know how we talk about New Orleans, you can do it wild or you can do it mild.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras, families, titties, different sections of town, all of that. Vegas, you can do many different ways. And I've done bachelor parties out there, and I've gone out there. Hal and I went out there and we rode dune buggies. We each got our own dune buggy. We ran rolling around in the desert with that was amazing. I don't really, I'm not a big gambler. I gambled a little bit. You know, some people want to go and sit down and go like have like some kick-ass dinner. I don't care.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to do. And you know, I went with, you know, my buddy, our buddy Emmett. You've known Emmett forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, dude, I want to walk. I've never traveled with him before. This is weird because, you know, you're going on a trip with somebody and you never really travel with them and everybody's different.
Oh yeah.
And I said, dude, I like in Vegas, I want to get up. I said, if you're going to, you know, lay around and you want to take some time just to relax, I get that. But I'm going to wake up and I'm going to head out the fucking front door and I'm just going to start walking. He's like, no, man, I'm down for that. And dude, Aria almost down to Circus. I mean, like I walk, like I love it. I absolutely love walking fast. I love being outside. It's that dry air. It's about 70. It was like 73 degrees and sunny.
Perfect. Yeah.
Fuck this, man. Grab a beer, walk, and let's go. I just want to walk. I'm just not a lay around. And again, there's another way to do Vegas is go and you sit around and get a cabana and spend $1 million and be by the pool, you know?
I don't care about that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm just the nerd. I'm going to lace up and I'm going to fucking get outside. And I was only there 2 days and I did it both days, you know, just wanted to walk, man. I don't care. I'll sit down. I'll play some blackjack, you know, I'll do some of that, but it's not important to me.
No, it's going, man. Last time we went, we were like at one end of the strip, and then my wife's like, "Hey, we didn't ride the New York roller coaster yet." I'm like, "It's like fucking 11 o'clock at night," and I'm like, "She's like, we gotta go," and we just fucking hum all the way down the strip because we gotta ride the goddamn roller coaster, which, by the way, fucking great. But it's like, holy shit, man! It's like that's the kind of Vegas we do. It's like we do all of that stuff. I'm not going out there with my wife. It ain't gonna be Wolf of Wall Street. You know what I mean? I mean, it ain't going to be like that when I go with the wife. It's just not. It's going to be a little more mellow than you'd want it to be. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
There's nothing wrong with it. And we have a fucking blast. But yeah, I gotta get back to Vegas, man. I gotta get out there. I got to.
I feel weird that it's been that long since I've been. It's just, you know, it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. And, you know, there's a lot of similarities. So when the last time I came into New Orleans, and I had a couple of buddies, and my buddy Chris got his brother Paul to come, and Paul's walking around with us in New Orleans. And at one point we're walking, you know, we had a couple of beers, and he just grabbed me. He's like, "Dude, thank you." I had to kind of get on his ass. I'm like, "Paul, you're fucking going. Just go. Just work it out." Well,
Right.
you know, I got kids and the wife, and it's just a guy's trip. I go, "Just work it out, dude. Work it out. Come spend the weekend, okay? In and out. We're just doing a weekend." He grabbed me at some point, like on Saturday. We had a couple of beers in us. He's like, "Thank you for staying on me." He goes, "I hadn't been here in a number of years." Same thing what I'm talking about in Vegas. He's like, he goes, "I used to come here all the time." And he said, "I'm so happy I'm here right now. I'm so glad I'm here." Sometimes you just need someone to nudge you a little bit.
Right.
And he was like a solid no. And I'm like, "Dude, come on, man. Come on, Paul." And his brother's like, "Dude, just text him again." I'm like, "I don't want him to get mad." He goes, "Please text him again." And we talked him into doing it. And then
That's
he grabbed
awesome.
me and he said, "Thank you for pushing me." Because I hadn't been here in so many years. And he goes, he said, "I forgot how much I love New Orleans." And I had that same thing going on when I'm walking around Vegas. God damn, I forgot how much I love it here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool, man. And those are two. I mean, obviously, I live here and I get it, but like there's something about Vegas that I can go to multiple times. There's very few cities I can do that. I could go to LA, but even LA, you kind of run out of a couple of things after a while because it's so spread out. You know, there's so much shit. It's so far away. You know, you can only go down to like the Rainbow and the Whiskey. You do that little trip. That's only a couple hours. You know what I mean? And then you go out to Santa Monica Pier, Venice Beach. Okay, you did that. You know what I mean? Like you can do shit, but it's like so spread out. And I do like LA, but Vegas, it's all compact. New Orleans,
Yeah.
French Quarter, compact. You know, any other city, you got to wander all over the fucking place. You know, as far as the United States goes, it's a little bit
Yeah.
different.
They're good walking cities. I mean, Boston's a great walking city.
That's true.
You know,
Chicago.
yeah, Chicago's a great walking city. New York, but it's just we don't get to walk as much. And I always say, you know, walking. I know you're a big runner, but walking is our superpower.
Oh,
It's
God,
our
yeah.
super. It is our. It's. Now I get it. Not every single person can, but most of us can walk. And you know, you don't do it enough. And it's something that the one thing that I did notice, because man, I used to be able to walk all day, New York City, all day, get up the next day, walk all day, didn't stop. And I was like a machine. 54 the next morning after walking all day. I mean walking all day, then going to U2, getting up. I'm like, okay, I gotta, like, my fucking calves were so tight. I'm like, who the fuck was kicking me in the calves all night? It was Bono. Did Bono come in here and just fucking bite my calves? So
I mean, you drink
get
that many. You drank all those pina coladas, dude. That's gonna affect your calves, man. I mean, holy shit.
So I got up and I forced myself to do it, and I just boom went out and did it again and walked again for hours, dude, for hours.
It's the only way to go, man. It is the only way. It's the only way to see anything, man. You got to get your ass out and walk. I mean, I notice even now, like I'm like, you know, if I go a few days of walking the quarter doing shit, I'm like, ooh, oh man, the old bounce back ain't quite there. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, what happened? But I still go, but it's like
I used
it takes
to
a little more.
walking, running. I got tired. You know, walking, I would never get tired.
Nope.
I would just keep going. And now I was like, wow, shit. That was a lot of walking yesterday.
I mean,
but I wouldn't let it beat me. I would not let it beat me.
No. Well, that's
Because we could have gone down to the pool and just hung out at the pool and then just started doing supersonics right out of the gate.
whiskey sours and just go, man.
Let's go. Let's go walk. Let's go walk. And I did it.
Well, speaking of walking, this is a shitty segue, but I'm going to do it anyway. Shout out to Misfit Ruck Club. That's their handle on Instagram, Misfit Ruck Club. Stop by, big listeners of the Play Pants podcast. I sent you a picture, and they stopped by the Pirates of the Quarter store, and they took the Pirates of the Quarter tour. Got to meet them, and so why I say this, I was like looking at their name. I didn't get their actual names because I'm an idiot, but Misfit Ruck Club. Okay, so I looked it up. Rucking is where you put a backpack with weights on and you just fucking walk over the place. You're rucking.
It's a rucksack.
Yeah, I didn't know this until just 20 minutes ago. I didn't know what rucking was. I'm like, hey, that sounds dirty. I got to get me some of that. And then I realized, oh, it's just fucking walk with a backpack.
Yeah,
all right.
Your rucksack. It's your rucksack.
Yeah, but it's cool as shit. But so anyway, shout out to Misfit Ruck Club on Instagram for doing the tour and hanging out at the shop for a little while. I believe it was a week ago. So very cool, man. Very cool.
I got a couple of quick DMs here. Mike Bass. I just thought it was just, you know, some compliments hit you differently. And you know, a compliment in any form, we'll take it. We love it. You know, thank you very much. It's not necessary, but it's always nice to hear.
Sure.
But Mike Bass says, being the same age, listening to you two is like a great bar conversation with friends. You guys are the shit. I just said, man, that's an awesome compliment. I said, thank you so much.
Man.
And then Christopher Lowry, he sent something a couple of weeks back, and he, after the Halloween podcast, he had found some stuff for the movie Trick or Treat with Ozzy and Gene Simmons. So he had found some stuff and he had sent it. He kind of direct messaged us and he just says, man, love you guys. Can't wait for the next podcast. So thank you for that. I also pulled up some of your playlists that you guys had submitted on our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And you got to go back when I think what was our, the fall songs.
Yeah. It
was only 2 weeks ago. Come on. It wasn't like it was a month ago, dude.
I mean, it's a lot.
Immortal Warrior, number 5, Dog Days Are Over, Florence and the Machine, Wake Me Up When September Ends, Green Day, Fell on Black Days, Soundgarden, Boys of Summer, Ataris. Not nice. The original. He put the cover on there.
Yeah.
And Seasons in the Abyss from Slayer. Nice.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, that works though.
No CF 6597. Number 5, Ramble On, Zeppelin. Black number 1, Typo. Perennial, Ginger. Autumn in New York, Billie Holiday. California Dreamin', number 1, Mamas and Papas, which you had that on your
I
list.
had that one. Yeah. Yeah. No,
That one I missed. That one I
had
missed.
that one. I had that one.
So as we're talking about fall, it is going to kind of play into a little bit with our top 5, but 15 days until Thanksgiving, 47 days until Christmas.
Ugh.
I was a little rocked. This week that mashed potatoes on one pollster questionnaire, mashed potatoes have overtaken stuffing as the number 1 side for Thanksgiving.
What?
Mashed potatoes,
Over.
you can have those several. This is just me. I have stuffing one time a year, and every time I eat it, because one time of year, not one day, because eat the leftovers.
Right.
But it would be like that even when I was younger, and we would grow up. We'd be eating stuffing, and somebody's going to say, "You know what? This is so good. Why don't we have this some other time? Why don't we have stuffing?" And we never, ever, ever make stuffing. That's what makes it so special. That's why it's the fucking goat of sides. Mashed potatoes and gravy, that shit does roll with a bunch of other things throughout the year. I'm
You can have it
sorry.
every day. You could have it every day.
But it is now the number 1 side dish, bro.
What kind of bland ass mooks are fucking eating mashed potatoes? Like more. Now, we have it every year. It's there. We have, or some sort of potato side dish. My mother-in-law makes a great potato side dish that is delicious. But look, I love my mother-in-law and I love what her dish tastes like, but give me some stuffing, man. Because it's like you said, it's fucking like one time a year.
That's it, man. It's the one time. And I don't care if it's cornbread, if it's dressing, if it's in the turkey's ass. I don't care how you cook it.
It's good.
It's just, it's stuffing. So we agree that that's the fucking goat. Like that is the number 2. Turkey's the goddamn star. There was another crazy thing where people say, just give me the sides. It's like, come on. We have to do away with the turkey. Come on.
Turkey and stuffing. That's Thanksgiving. Turkey and stuffing.
The street name of the day is Turkey Day. Okay. Yeah. The street, it's not mashed potato day. It's Turkey Day.
Turkey. I mean, you could sit there and go, what's your off the top of your head, your top 3 for Thanksgiving? It's going to be turkey. It's going to be stuffing, and cranberry sauce just comes to mind because it's there. I don't eat it, but it's there.
I do eat it. I do eat it. I do love it. What we did not grow up with, which was the number 3 side, was mac and cheese. And we did not, that wasn't a part of our Thanksgiving growing up.
No.
Mac and cheese never segued into adulthood back home. No. Until you started going out to nice restaurants in New Orleans and they had like some lobster mac and cheese or whatever. Like you guys eat mac and cheese? Like that's a little kid dish. Well, and then it kind of became like this cool side dish at nice restaurants.
Right.
Or
but it wasn't that. It wasn't that
place
box shit.
Right. What's the Ziggy's place or the Carlos and Charlie's or something?
Carlos. Yeah. I believe that's what. Yeah. I know. Rocky and Carlos. That's
Rocky and Carlos. Yeah. So I got like, you got to get this. Well, you don't eat mac and cheese. You think mac and cheese is a kiddie thing? This is killer. You got to eat some of this. And then they put some red gravy on it. And what else? I'm like, okay.
The fuck is this stuff? It's terrible.
Mac and cheese was nationally, mac and cheese was number 3. And then you got your green bean casserole and then cranberries. So, I mean, they're interchangeable after the stuffing. After the stuffing, it's interchangeable to me.
No. And okay, well, think of it this way. If you go back for seconds. Now, usually if like I'll fry turkeys. So like the turkey gets hammered, right? Because it's so great. It tastes great. People go back for seconds of the turkey. You going back for seconds of mashed potatoes. You're going back for seconds of the stuffing. Me, it's like, give me some more stuffing. Give it to me. I don't care if it's fucking stovetop stuffing. I'll eat that shit too. I love it.
I got to give it to, I think it was Melissa Hyde. She said, game changer. Take some stuffing, put it in a motherfucking waffle iron and reheat it that way. And you make a stuffing waffle and you put gravy over it.
Fuck.
Fat Boy as soon as I read that, Fat Boy, I started to salivate when I read that email this morning.
Ooh, that
What
is
a brilliant
smart.
thing. That's how you reheat it.
Huh?
You put it in the waffle iron,
Yeah.
and then boom, you serve it up, put some, and it like gets a little crispy on the outside. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ, the stuffing waffle. And then you could serve it, you could wash it down with a Tom Collins, and you're gonna be great.
Shut up.
Put on some Betty Goodman in the back, and you got yourself a little Vegas trip all over again, man.
Wash it down with your carrot juice.
I know,
Jackass.
right? Wow, stuffing nut and good. You know what? It's funny. Go back to.
I was a little rocked at that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad that I don't have to quit this podcast, that you agree that
Yeah,
stuffing
no, stuffing still wins.
is the top side.
But like macaroni and cheese was, like you said, it was the fucking box with the orange dust and the milk, and that was it. That was macaroni and cheese. And then, like, yeah, you're right. You kind of didn't have it after a certain age at home, except for very rarely. And it wasn't going to be a side dish at Thanksgiving, man. There was way too many grandmothers and aunts and uncles and moms running around to be saying, yeah, bring that box of shit over here. We're going to add that to the thing. It was never that. It was always potatoes, stuffing, beans, cranberry sauce, cornbread. Thanks.
I'll never forget it. And I know she listens occasionally. So if Mama Ginty's listening, our very first Thanksgiving, when you and I first moved out of Buffalo, your parents came in for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And your mom came to me because she wanted to get everything right. She's like, is there something that it was going to be everybody's first Thanksgiving away from home? She's like, is there anything that you need, if we're having Thanksgiving, like, what is it that you need? And I said, well, I go, anything you make, anything that, I think we all kind of pitched in, but whatever we have is going to be great. She's like, but is there anything that you need on that table? And I said, well, to be honest with you, I said, it might sound a little weird, but celery sticks with cream cheese in them. She goes, done. She said, done. He goes, that's what you need. But it wasn't unfamiliar to her.
No, we had it all the time. It was that she would do some with cream cheese, and she put peanut butter in the other ones. Remember growing up?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was our thing. Yeah, she did it all the time. Yeah. So when you asked, she's like, got it. Doing it.
Again, so I'm a late in life peanut butter. So I didn't eat peanut butter as a kid. So I didn't do that. But I'm familiar with the concept with the celery. But the celery and cream cheese, and then my mom would put like some walnuts in some of them.
Yeah, sure.
But once a year again, there was never, ever, I mean, I think the fancy name was called stuffed celery. Yeah. And you think like, I mean, growing up, like I've since made it, and I like added a little shit, put a little Tony Chachere's or something in that cream. You think anything was ever added? Nothing. It was just cream cheese and that. And your mom said, okay, boom, that will be on the table. So I love your mom for that. That was our very first Thanksgiving away. And, it was awesome. She's like, tell me what you need.
Yeah.
You're not going to be home. We couldn't, we had to work. Right. So you're not going to be home. What needs to be on that table? And that was the one thing that I said. And she said, I'll make that happen. So thank you, Mama Ginty, if you're listening.
And you said, whip me up some slow gin fizzes too, and then we'll have a good night.
Yo, I said a twist of lime. What are you doing stirring this? I like it shaken, Mama Ginty. Shaken.
I do remember getting pretty drunk afterwards. So that's a good old fashioned Thanksgiving. I mean, if you ain't toasted by the end of Thanksgiving, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, you got to get ripped up after Thanksgiving.
Because everybody got along. Nobody fucking talked politics or anything like that.
Yeah, you just drank and have fun, man. Oh, I can remember Thanksgivings when I was a kid, man. My grandfather would come over, my grandmother would come over, my grandfather smoked, and fucking, my mom, like anybody's house, right? It's Thanksgiving time. Clean up your room. We got to vacuum. We got to dust. It's going to be nice. People are coming over. Let's clean up. And my mom had like this one lone wolf ashtray that she bust out every time my grandfather would come over. And he would sit there and just fucking smoke and tell cool stories. And we'd watch football and the same old thing every holiday. And then it'd just be like 2 days of complaining about the smoking shit. It was funny. But you know what? It's those things that you remember that, like, at the time you're just like, yeah, that's fucking awful. It's blue. Like you can see the blue haze in our fucking basement where we'd hang out.
Because houses were small too.
Tiny.
They weren't built to have big family dinners and shit.
We had fucking 8-foot ceilings. They're 7
it
feet
was-
down in the basement.
It was built for the 4 Ginties that lived there. It wasn't
man.
built to have all these people over, and ours
No.
was the same. You
But
know?
that's
And then
what was
we
great
had
about it,
people
though.
over.
'Cause
You had
you
people
just-
standing and eating off of paper plates on their laps.
Some nights you did. Oh, I've had those Thanksgivings too. I've had some wild ones, and it's great. You know what? That's what's cool about it. It doesn't matter. But yeah, stuffing, dude. No.
Okay.
And again, you could even sit there and say, you know, why don't we have this rest of the year? Why don't you do turkey the rest of the year? I could easily fry turkeys in June. They're out there. You can go get one. They're delicious. They feed a lot. No, no, I won't do. I've never done a turkey outside of November and December.
Nor have I. It would be fucking dope, though. It would be killer.
It'd be so
It would
delicious,
be so awesome.
dude.
I
Fucking
don't
chilling
care.
by the pool.
Just a turkey in the oven. I don't care. It would be awesome. Now, the oven, I understand because it's the summer. You don't want to heat up the house. You know, you want to use the oven as less as possible. That's why you want to cook outside. So, yeah, frying a turkey in the summer would be fucking amazing. I just
Yeah.
it never crosses my mind. Hey, man, let's fry a turkey. Turkey sandwiches by the pool. Killer.
Dude, think
It'd be
about
awesome.
frying a turkey. You're eating that delicious turkey by the pool. Maybe someone brings out a Manhattan and you're just fucking living. You're just living out there, brother. You're just fucking.
He's having so much fun with that, folks.
I fucking love it.
I gotta let him. You
You're-
got sometimes you just gotta let him finish.
It's just once I start, I can't stop. I can't
Once he
help it.
starts humping your leg, sometimes you just gotta let him finish.
You gotta let me finish. And sometimes I got stamina. I'll come back around.
I got more. What are you, Dirk Diggler? Don't worry, we can shoot another scene right now. I got
just keep rolling. We don't even stop the tape. I'll get her back. I'll get her back. Don't worry, we got you over here, man.
It's like Jim in American Pie. Don't go. I got reserves. I'm good to go.
dude.
Nadia, I'm ready to go.
Dude, I got a double barrel over here. I can get it done. So we're
All
gonna do
right.
our top 5 songs about dark.
Yeah, because daylight saving singular time ended this past weekend. I used to complain about it a lot more. For some reason, people don't want to hear you complain about that.
No.
There's a lot of people that have no problem with the motherfucking sun going down at 5:30. Okay? Okay, Hot Topic guy with your what do you got, a fucking bunch of scorpions and tarantulas in aquariums in your house? I want some sun in my life, okay? I want the
Yeah.
sun. I want the sun out till after 8. I want it like that. The days already get shorter in the wintertime. And then to make it worse, we adjust the clock so that the sun goes down now at 5:30. Fuck. And I'm a guy that gets out of work early. Okay. So I can't even imagine somebody that works 9 to 5. If you actually are going into work, you're working, let's just say 9 to 5, you're driving home. By the time you're hanging out with your kids, your family, or whatever it is you're going to do, and it's dark.
Yeah. No, I never understood it.
Come on.
I never understood it because, like, you know, most people, you know, you're rolling out of work 5, 6, 7 o'clock. Well, shit, 5 o'clock is dark. You know, I always think about kids in school. You know, you go to school and then, you know, it gets dark at 5 o'clock. You know, I think of me, you know, not to be selfish, but I think of me, Rod. When I was a kid,
You can every now and then.
I had to be home at dark. Now, in the summertime, shit, I was out till 10 o'clock some nights. It was great, you know? But once that time changed, bitch, 5 o'clock, my buddies are out there having a blast. And I'm like, it's fucking dark. I got to go. Where you going?
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm like, I got to go. It's dark. That's my rules, man. I got to go home at dark.
So I
Sucks.
kind of gave a little teaser, or as our friend Stagger used to say, I dropped a little appetize on our Facebook page. And I said, hey, we're recording Pod 102 tonight. Favorite dark songs. I just left it at that. And I was reminded that some people don't want to talk about this. And Nathan Delord does not want to talk about this on our
No.
Facebook page. I'm so tired of people complaining about the time change. The days will get shorter in the winter regardless of the time change. Get over it.
No, he's right. He's totally
Fucking
right.
send you a message right now, Nathan.
Dear Nathan, you
Oh.
mother.
Pound out a message to him.
But
It doesn't bother him, and it's okay. But
it-
there is something called SAD, seasonal affective disorder. It's a real thing. I don't
It
know that I
absolutely
have it. I just fucking don't like it.
No, and why do we do it to ourselves? What's the purpose? I don't. It's a self-inflicted thing. We don't have to do this. The sun will rise, the sun sets. It's been going on for millions of years. So we just
It's lighter and safer for children in the morning.
I've heard that goofy ass fucking argument,
Now,
but that's
here's
bullshit.
what's going to happen. Somebody's going to DM us
Mhm.
and say, well, dude, they're doing away with it. Blah, 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 blah. Hang on. They're not doing away with shit. It got caught up in the House. I believe the House said yes. They passed it. And then the Senate said, fuck this. We're not doing this. So obviously the House is awesome and the Senate sucks, but it got caught up. The Senate's got to go and pass there. So
wait. Breaking news from RNN, the Rodney News Network. The House is great. The Senate sucks. Okay, back to the regular scheduled program. Thanks for cutting in, RNN.
I know that's why people come to this pod. They want to hear my hot political takes.
That was a good one. I liked it. That was pretty good.
It's been talked about.
Right.
It's been talked about. There's things in life that I'm just going to go through my whole life and I'm never going to get it.
No,
I'm going to probably have to change the clock twice a year. I'm never going to get trick-or-treating day on the last Saturday in October. And I'm not going to move Super Bowl Sunday to Super Bowl Saturday or have the day after Super Bowl a holiday. Those things are not going to happen.
No.
Some people are going to continue to put pulp in orange juice. I'm going to have to live my life. Okay. I'm going to have to go on and be brave, and I will. But I'm just mentioning that I would like the time change thing to go away. What would be awful is if they took it away and they kept us on this time all year round. Then don't fuck with it.
Right.
Because this is what we're on right now is standard time.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the time.
Yeesh.
Daylight saving time is making the adjustment. Now we're going back to what we're at now, standard time. My fear is that we go to this all year round, which again, days would be longer in the summer, but they wouldn't be as long.
Right. Because you'd get up later and shit. Yeah.
So now I'm going to be that fucking annoying. I don't want the clocks to change, but I want them set at daylight saving time. It's got to be those two things working together. Otherwise, no fucking deal for me.
I don't know if it's an older dude thing or what it is, but like I have all of a sudden the last couple of years gotten in tune with when the sun comes up, I'm getting up. Like, and that's that. There's no like me sleeping in ain't happening. It's like the sun comes up. Let's go. Like there's farmers listening to this podcast, I'm sure, in their combine right now, just chipping away at the fucking wheat. And they're like, bitch, I don't care about time. I get up when the sun comes up because you got to make hay when the sun is shining. You know what I mean? So if you could figure out a way to just run your life, obviously your fucking schedule's crazy, but like time is just bullshit, man. If the sun comes up and you want to be outside, get up, get up, go. You know what I mean? Like if I go to the beach in the summertime, I kind of just I fucking time doesn't matter. You know,
you let the earth wake you up.
The earth, man. I let the earth work me. I let it work me good. But yeah, that's kind of it. You know, it's just a self-inflicted thing. We're just fucking with ourselves. We just like to fuck with ourselves.
Well,
it's kind of what we're doing. I know you got school schedules, you got kids, and you got fucking jobs, and there's expectations and all that bullshit. But like, if you can figure out a way not have to have all that shit, man, you just roll time how you want it.
We're going to do our top 5 songs. And I just put songs about darkness, dark in the title, because I'm taking some liberties here. I am taking some liberties with this list, and I'm going to stretch my legs a little bit on this one. So I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. We will get to our list coming up. Exciting news. It's still exciting. It's still exciting, Jason, that you have an address in the French Quarter. And I see I'm starting to finally see some pictures. I'm looking at the Pirates of the Quarter on Facebook, and you got your cool sign made by the Dirty Boys. Yeah, Pirates of the Quarter opened up a store inside in the French Quarter now. Okay, so there's they call that what? Brick and mortar.
Yep.
So not only can you take their 5-star rated tour, you can now visit their store, 607 Dumaine Street, in the French Quarter. They've got the shirts for sale. I mean, you can buy all the stuff online, but they've got more in the store. So there's the beads and the bandanas and the pirate gear, all this great stuff to choose from. I mean, you might meet one of the pirates, okay, or the pirate wives. You never know who's going to be in there. But take the tour and hear the incredible pirate history of New Orleans, and then get that souvenir. Hang out at the pirate shop. Visit the Pirates at 607 Dumaine Street in the Quarter, at Pirates of the Quarter on all socials, piratesofthequarter.com. Just got done telling you how much I love walking. This is a walking tour, beer in hand. Amazing weather right now.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's a great time to be in New Orleans. It's an awesome time to be in New Orleans. So use your superpower. Our superpower is walking. And then boom, you're walking, you're drinking, and you're listening to all these great pirate stories. There you go. Maybe we'll get a few more people in the store for you.
Let's hope so, because it works. Advertising works. You know what I mean? It works. And then Rod, I know when you come to town, I'll whip you up a French 75 because I know you love those.
This fucking guy.
So wait,
All
this
right.
dark thing, man. So I really wanted to drift off.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so I got you thinking here.
No, I wanted to, but I stuck to the fucking code. You said songs about dark. Okay, so I went, so night is out because there's a billion songs about night that I would have loved to grab.
I went nowhere near night.
Okay, good. All right. Fair enough.
I kept it dark, and I still was able to stretch out a little bit.
Dark meat or white meat? Dark meat or white meat on your turkey?
White meat all the way.
Yeah, fuck that. Dark meat. I just hear who wants this shit. But there's always like that one person in the family. My father-in-law loves the dark meat.
I'll tell you, it's juicier. They think that we're eating the dry meat. Like we're like, oh, that white meat is dry. Everybody knows that. It's, the dark meat probably is juicier, but it's all veiny and shit.
All grizzle and chewing on like a Super Bowl. It's like, who gives a shit, man? I mean, fuck this.
I'll grind it up. I'll grind it up and put it in some turkey salad or something like that. If it's incorporated into something, turkey gumbo, whatever. I'm fine with it. But if I'm just going to eat a piece of turkey, it's going to be fucking from that turkey breast, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But it's like, it's always fun to go to Thanksgiving, especially if you get to somebody else's house. Maybe there's other family members or whatever. And like me, I like just stand around. I want to see who's going to go for the dark meat. I want to see who's the wing nut that goes after the wing in the leg. Like who's the weirdo in the family, And I'm like, oh, okay, it's you. All right.
And I always cut, because I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm cooking the turkey, I'm cutting up the turkey. So I will always, here's the white meat and here's the dark meat. You give people the choice. And I don't, the dark meat people really do feel like they've got this thing figured out. They're like, great. They know that most people want the white meat. They're fine with it. They really feel like they've cracked the fucking code on turkey.
Because it's no one's fighting over that part usually.
Right.
It's like you're just chewing on it for an hour. You're like, I can't even swallow this shit, man. What's going on over here? Just walking around. I can chew it away. Cheeks out to here like a squirrel with a fucking pack of nuts. All right. So you want to go first?
I will go first. I don't want you to get mad at me.
Well, if you fucking went into the night world, because I did not. I wanted to
go night. So no white snake, still of the night.
Oh, well, that'd been a good one, though, I got to say.
Okay.
Well, you could have used that.
I guess. I mean, what am I going to say? I said it's dark. I sent you an email today. I said, bro, it's fucking sunset at 5:30. We did time. I looked it up. I did do a little research. We did time songs. Do you remember?
Yeah, that one was hard too.
Okay. Songs about time, songs that mention time. Because I think we were talking about the clocks.
Right.
So I knew that was already off the table. I just couldn't believe that, like, fucking sunset at 5:30. It's fucking infuriating to me. It's like, and then Nathan doesn't want us talking about it. Well, guess what? I'm not over it. You're telling me to get over it, Nathan. I cannot get over it. Okay.
I've tried. I've brought up, what do you like better, white meat or dark meat, just to get you off the fucking night thing. And we went right back to it.
I feel less productive. It's like, okay, it's 5:30. There's no more sun. It's time to fucking wind this thing down. It's only 5:30. We're not winding shit down.
But see, here's the thing. If I was like younger and like all I would do is like work at the radio station during the day, and then it's like 5:30, fuck it, let's go get some beers. I'm good.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm all for the night. I love nighttime. I don't want nighttime to be 5:30. All right, we got to move on. I can't keep doing this.
All right. I can't get over it. Dark songs, because I'm not happy about it getting dark. In at number 5, Billy Squier, In the Dark.
I have the same fucking list.
Are we gonna have the same list?
Have the same list. I'm gonna say we're gonna have 4 of the same songs. I'm going 4. 4 songs gonna be the same. Okay. Love
no.
that tune. Great song.
It might be my favorite Billy Squier song.
In the dark. Yeah. No, I like that
Might
one.
be my favorite Billy Squier song.
It ain't
In
the
at number
Stroke.
4, I felt like I could have chosen any song I wanted, but I'm putting The Darkness on my list. The band, The Darkness. You know what? The best song on that debut album is I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
So great.
That's how I'm getting away with this. I'm choosing the band called The Darkness.
Now
Is
thought
Get
about
Your
it.
Hands Off My Woman, motherfucker. It might be better.
they do have some good songs.
That whole first album is awesome. And you know what? The second album, not so much. You know?
Heroin.
But you know who I ride with? Justin Hawkins rides again. You watch his podcast ever?
Fucking great. I love that dude, man. He's like,
I really
Justin Hawkins rides again. I can't do it, obviously, but
I love him, man. I like him breaking down songs, and you can tell he's really knowledgeable, and he brings out the guitar and plays along. I listen. This is me, Santa Claus, sitting at Macy's, sending it over to Gimbals. You can listen to other podcasts, okay? I'm just giving you the freedom. You don't have to just listen to ours.
wait,
But Justin Hawkins is great.
dude, you just compare us to Macy's and Justin Hawkins as Gimbals. Man, we ain't even that pissed up guy on the corner ringing a bell. We're not even that guy.
Okay, so Squire, The Darkness.
Nice one. I like that. It's good.
I Believe in a Thing Called Love.
Yeah, I love
Number
that.
3, you're right. I know we're going to both have this. Look out. Ronnie James Dio, Rainbow in the Dark.
Fucking great. It's so great. And then, you know what? You should let that song kind of be your mantra this time of year. Like, look for the rainbow, Rodney, in the dark.
Okay. I thought you were going to somehow serve up another old cocktail there. You're really just going to leave that wide open?
I'm going to leave it wide open. I'll save it.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh,
Sound of Silence. Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
Oh, shit. Nice one. Yeah.
Opening line of the song.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe people got sick of it because Disturbed was in heavy rotation everywhere. But I went back and listened to it today. It's brilliant. I'm a huge Simon and Garfunkel fan. Those two men singing together. Outside of family members, there's something about brothers that sing. The Bee Gees, and when you hear the guys in Oasis and you hear the guys in the Black Crowes, siblings.
Yep.
Siblings.
Boys.
When they sing together, it's just next level. You can't get there. The Carpenters, all of that. If you look at the history of siblings in a band, they sing like no other.
Right.
And you would think that Simon and Garfunkel were related, how well they sing together. But you can tell they're not related because their voices are so different. But the blending of those two instruments, it's just that
Brilliant.
original song, because I'm burnt on Disturbed. I'm really burnt on that. But it's an amazing cover. Number 1, and this is where this hit me, and I said, oh, shit. I'm going to take some shit from Jason Ginty on this.
No.
My number 1 song, because it contains the lyric dark.
Ooh.
My favorite song lyric of all time. You don't know this about me.
Jesus Christ. Here we go. Let me get it.
Bruce Coburn. The song is called Lovers in a Dangerous Time. And the lyric is, kick at the darkness till it bleeds daylight.
Ooh.
It is the greatest song lyric. And it's the only time I have ever considered getting a song lyric tattooed on me. I've never, ever thought of one other band, one other song lyric ever. I use that all the time. I get to get a little serious. You get people calling in and they email me, and if they're ever talking about addictions or anything like that, I tell people, I go, I never take it as my own. I said, I'm going to share with you my favorite song lyric. Kick at the darkness till it bleeds daylight. It's in the song by Bruce Coburn. Canadian guy.
Canadian.
Lovers in a Dangerous Time. A dark lyric,
Nice.
number one for me.
I like it. I like that. That's okay. That's good. Okay, we didn't have 4 of the same. We didn't. I think we had wow, only 2.
Yeah, too. So
Huh.
one other thing that I want to say about that lyric, because it's brilliant. There was a Bruce Cockburn tribute album. Maybe you heard Bare Naked Ladies cover that song. It was early in Bare Naked Ladies' career. And the name of the album, the tribute to Bruce Cockburn, was called Kick at the Darkness.
There you go.
That's what they named it. So that lyric is special. And then the final thing I'll say on it is John Lennon wrote a song, God. And, I don't believe in the Beatles. I don't believe in this. He goes, I believe in Yoko and me, and that's it. And he just kind of shit on everything, So Bono, maybe the only other guy that could do this, he wrote a song called God Part 2. Okay. It's like, wow, that's ballsy, right? And it's a great song, and it's not as morose as John's, but in the song, God Part 2 is don't believe in the 60s, the golden age of pop. You glorify the past when the future dries up. Heard a singer on the radio late last night. He says he's going to kick at the darkness till it bleeds daylight. I believe in love.
Wow.
Bono used that lyric.
That's pretty
in
great.
God Part 2.
It's great
So,
lyrics.
It's my all-time favorite song lyric. I just think it's absolutely brilliant. The rest of Bruce Cockburn stuff,
Yeah. No
if
way.
I
That's
had
awesome.
a rocket launcher, and it's some weird songs. Never was a favorite of mine, but that one song and the Bare Naked Lady cover of it is amazing.
That's
Dark.
cool.
Dark, dude.
So you use that lyric, and then you use Rainbow in the Dark, and you can turn this thing around on. Maybe you just work it out in your little corner. Don't keep talking about it, right?
So stop moping around about the fucking sun going down.
Like Nathan Delord's gonna be like, hey, here's what you're gonna do. You put on fucking Bruce Cockburn in Rainbow in the Dark, and you let the sunshine fly around in your own head and leave us alone.
I'm replying to Nathan right now. You shove it up your ass, Nathan.
Hey, we need all the listener we can get.
Love you, Nathan. Okay, Jason.
All right.
So you said you got 2 of those. I'm just curious as to where they landed on your list.
Yeah, well, mine is different. I will say that's a nice list. This was probably, I had to do some digging on this one. I got to be honest, because man, I thought, oh, Dark, this is gonna be easy. And then you realize not that many songs. There really aren't that many songs that are decent.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There is, but well, you'll see. Number 5, Billy Squier, In the Dark, 1981's Don't Say No. Fucking love it. Love it. This is almost like, of all the artists that we talk about, and there's only really 4, it's Kiss, Foo Fighters, Chris Cornell, and Billy Squier.
Van Halen.
Van Halen. Oh, okay, there's 5.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna leave Van Halen off of that list?
Dude, I don't know. I've had too much candy or something. The Halloween candy's downstairs. I'm trying to finish it, so I'm just ripping through it like a fool, man. So I'm like all jacked up. Billy Squier, In the Dark, 1981, number 5. Number 4, and this will be the one I'll take shit for, but I'm okay with it because I still like the song.
Okay.
This is a band I don't think I've ever thought it would be in a top 5 for me. Fall Out Boy, My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark. And at first I didn't like the song, but when Patrick Stumpf is screaming on fire, I went, oh, okay. Like, it's so fucking cool. Yeah, it's a great song. But when he's screaming, I'm on fire, I'm like, whoa, that's kind of a bit of an old school metal thing right there. I like it. I don't hate Fall Out Boy. I don't hate him.
I like Fall Out Boy more than I'm willing to announce right now, which I just kind of said how much I like
I don't
him.
know if that
Dude,
works.
I went to that Hella Mega tour,
Right.
them, Green Day, and they were fucking great.
Yeah,
They were great. I'll tell you what, what was a letdown was the Pete guy, the bass player.
Pete Wentz?
Yeah, I thought like he was, he was the guy that everybody knew. And he just wasn't, he didn't do it for me.
Like, is he a good bass player or something? Or like, what's the deal?
I would say that he's on the shittier side of a bass player, to be honest with you. But
I guess he might write this.
Stump can fucking sing his ass off. And if that guy if that Filipino doesn't work out in Journey, Patrick Stump can do all that stuff, man. And some of that stuff that he sings reminds me of Journey.
Yes. You can hear the influence there. So yeah, that was number 4.
That same tonal quality. But no, that's a great one. I didn't even think of that song. So
Yeah.
kudos to you on that.
I got you. Number 3, we've talked about this already. Dio's Rainbow in the Dark.
Look out.
Holy Diver, 1983. Did you know this? After they recorded the album, of course, back in 83,
Jump.
you're using the reel-to-reel tape, the big 8-track or 16-track tape, right? They listen to the playback, the band and all the producers sitting in the room. They play it back, and Dio's like, I'm taking some fucking razor blades of that piece of shit. He was like gonna go and slice it up so they couldn't use the song Rainbow in the Dark. He thought it was too poppy. It didn't fit Holy Diver. He wanted to slice it up, and the band like basically tackled the little guy and said, no. And he's kind of obviously happy that they didn't, but he still thought years later that it was just too poppy for that album.
Did they just like stick out their hand on his head and he was like swinging to try to get at him?
Come on, little guy.
I don't remember. The Dio documentary is really, really good.
Yeah.
I don't remember them covering that. So that's a good fun fact. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, he said that like he had just come out of being in Black Sabbath, right? Because he came out of Black Sabbath and went solo. And he's like, I can't come out of Black Sabbath with all that fucking heavy, dark shit and then make this poppy Rainbow in the Dark song. But like to us today, it doesn't, I mean, yeah, it's a little more brighter, but it still rocks. You know what I mean? In his mind, though.
The big difference is the keys, you know?
Yeah, which are still
Sabbath
fucking cool.
Right. You know, they're great.
They're awesome.
It's a great song. I mean, Rainbow in the Dark is awesome. I love Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah, he's the coolest.
That's
Number
number
2.
3.
That was my number 3. Number 2, kind of sticking in the same world, going back to 1986, The Ultimate Sin, Ozzy's Shot in the Dark.
I had that as your number 1.
I wanted to. I really love that song. It's so great. But my number 1.
I think you had that on your Ozzy top 5 list.
Yeah, probably did. I love that song. Love that freaking song.
I pay attention to these things sometimes.
I don't even pay attention to my own.
I think you had Shot in the Dark as your in your Ozzy top 5.
Dude, I'm gonna blow your mind with my number 1. I think your number 1 blew minds. Mine will blow minds in a different way, and you're gonna be surprised.
What is it? Dark
Number
spelled
1.
backwards?
Yeah. What? Crad?
Crad.
I had to really think about it.
Crad. You ever heard of Crad? What is it already?
Dude, nobody's gonna fucking listen to this one, I don't think. Number 1, Tito and Tarantula. There's a great song called After Dark, from dusk till
I love that song.
dawn. That is the song that's playing when Selma Hayek is doing her dance at the Titty Twister down in Mexico. Dusk till dawn. If you don't know it, I'm telling you, look it up on YouTube. That song is so fucking cool, and it can only be played later in the evening after a few drinks because it's that good. Like
Nathan,
the song,
you're off the
dirty.
hook. You are totally off the hook. I'm pissed off at Ginty now.
That's
a great song.
Great song. It
Ding,
feels
ding,
dirty.
ding, 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 ding.
Brilliant. It's brilliant, man. You know,
that's great.
And the only other song that I kind of was like, nah, I'm not putting it on my list. I didn't like it. I don't like that song that much. But like, if you think about lyrics, knocking on heaven's door, it's getting too dark to see. Ha ha ha.
Okay.
You know, you could have used that, any version, not the Dylan, but you could use Guns N' Roses. You know, that was enough for me. I stopped looking after that.
Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark was
that was there.
Number 6. My number 7 was Eddie and the Cruisers.
On
the dark side.
I couldn't bring myself.
I fucking used to love that song. And I'd like to mention something right now. I believe the man's name is Michael Perret, right?
Yeah.
It might be the best lip sync job I've ever seen in my life. Marky Mark did a great job in Rockstar of lip syncing that, but not as good. That guy sold it that he was Eddie. And he was singing those songs. Okay.
I mean, Cruisers.
It's every bit as good as, was it Rami Malek?
Oh, and Queen. Yeah.
In Queen. It's every bit as good as the lip syncing that he does in that Academy Award winning performance. The lip syncing, I remember noticing it when I was young. I have not seen Eddie and the Cruiser in 100 years, but I'd like to go back and watch it. The music was good.
Yeah.
The music was good. That was one of those things that was on HBO all the time.
Yeah, for a few short years because they only had like 5 movies because they didn't have the rights to anything. So you'd watch that and like 3 other films all the time.
Was there was a part 2? Eddie Lives.
Jesus.
There was a part 2 because they left it open. Remember when they showed that he died and they released the album, and then people were watching in a store window back, like the old timey when you would watch TVs in the window of a storefront, and they showed his face in the window.
I have not seen that movie.
It meant he was alive. So I believe there was I think there was Eddie and the Cruisers 2, Eddie Lives.
Dude, how do you remember that?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't fucking know how I remember some things.
Oh my God. Too many Singapore slings, brother.
Yeah, there he goes. Singapore Slingers. That's what I was drinking. You're right. You know what I tripped on, and I gotta admit, before today, I did not know this song. Eminem does a song called Darkness.
I saw that.
If you wanted to go dig into something, it deals with the mass shooting in Vegas.
Jeez.
And he actually uses a hotel room, and then he uses some real footage in it. There's a warning beforehand. But Eminem is obviously super powerful doing what he does. I mean, he's the best at it. But he also uses Sound of Silence in there. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, wow.
And then he's kind of rapping on top of it. And it's so dark. He's creating awareness, and at the end there's a problem, and he shows all these other TVs, and it's school shootings, and I don't always want to look at that stuff, but I'd also don't want to put my head in the sand. But Eminem, the song is called Darkness, and holy shit, is it powerful.
Yeesh.
I watched it today. I watched the video today, and I realized it's a couple years old.
I saw that in my digging around. I was like, well, nah, I'm gonna keep moving. I didn't even check it out, but I will check it out now for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Good lists, man. I got some listening to do again.
These types of lists I'm loving because when it's your top 5 Iron Maiden songs, I know the Iron Maiden songs that I like.
Right.
But when it's a theme, you start looking for different things, and that's where our lists vary and stuff. So I like that. I don't know. I wish somebody could just send me 100 ideas like this so that we can create lists.
Yeah, because
that's where you get different songs.
Yeah, I really was when you started, I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna have the same fucking basic list. I thought we'd get at least one, or I thought we were gonna have 4. I really did. I'm like, you're gonna have the Ozzy in there, you're gonna have the Dio, and you're gonna have the Billy Squier, and then I'm like, okay, maybe we'll get lucky on the other ones. Nah, man, I was surprised we didn't have more on that one. Yeah, good list, good work. I like that one. Fuck.
All right, let's wrap this up. We don't have another commercial. I got nothing going on.
Oh, that's not a bad thing. It gets dark early. What are you going to do? No, I shouldn't have brought that up. What an idiot I am. No.
Final thoughts. Veterans Day is on Saturday. Marine Corps birthday is on Friday. They've been blowing me up for about 3 weeks now. They'll blow me up 6 months out, and they'll tell me, just so you know, Rod, it's coming up. I'm like, dude, it's 6 months away. The Marine guys, they love their birthday. Yeah. We love all of our men and women in all the service. It's just those Marine guys. It's just the birthday just is different with them. I know your brother, and I know Eric. You're close with some Marines. They're just a different breed of people. I love every one of you, devil dogs. But every year, this is our 3rd year now. And every year going into Veterans Day and Memorial Day, I always mention the movie Taking Chance.
Yeah.
And it's more Memorial Day, but Veterans Day as well. And I realize we're just celebrating veterans, and I know the difference between the two holidays, but I always mention the movie Taking Chance, and I feel like one person, every time I mention it, they go and they watch that movie. It's Kevin Bacon. It was, I think, made for HBO, but it's streaming somewhere. You can find it out there. And if you're looking for something to watch, again, I love war movies. We did a war movie list.
I'm sure we did.
I'm sure we have. And, and there's greats out there. And if you've never seen, and I know you'll back all of this up, if you've never seen Band of Brothers or the Pacific or all that stuff. Man, that stuff's amazing. You know, I never served. Jason never served. So we live through these things and stories from our friends and stuff. So shout out to all the vets out there, and well, Briggs too, our buddy Briggs.
Yep.
So these are our close brothers that have served. But to everybody out there, Veterans Day, thank you guys.
Yeah, no, it's you know, I every time I see a buddy of mine who I know served, like you know, anytime I see Briggs when he comes to town or I go back home and see him, I'm just like, you know, it hits me for a quick second. I don't always say something, you know, or anything like that, but it's just it hits you, you know, and even if I don't say something, because you know, what am I going to say every time I see the guy? You know, hey, thanks for serving. I mean, maybe I should, I don't know, but I don't think he would need to hear that. I just know. And because I recognize it internally, I feel like it means something. You know what I mean? But this time of year, you definitely should recognize anybody, you know, just even if it's a quick, hey man, you know, thanks. You know, I will send those texts out to some friends this weekend, because it's important. And if you're a fan of New Orleans, the World War II Museum, they just added a whole nother wing. I haven't been in a couple of years, but man, if you haven't been to the World War II Museum in New Orleans, it's expanded. There's way more shit in there, and like you could spend like a whole day there. I mean, a whole day.
It's incredible. I mean, it's one of the best museums that I've ever been to. You know, it's really hard to that September 11th museum, just the resources and everything. Jesus Christ. I mean, the September 11th museum in New York City, it's just unbelievable. But right there is the D-Day museum. And Tessa was just talking about this. You know, Tessa finally made it over to New Orleans, and she really, really wants to go to the museum.
That's so great.
And she said, yeah, did you hear? And I said, no, I didn't. I said, well, thank you for, you know, mentioning that to me, because I need to go back too. Yeah. You know, I need to go back, and I've been there before, and there's been, I think the 3 or 4 times that I've gone, there's always been at least one World War II vet that was kind of, you know, hanging around or whatever. And I know that, you know, my goddaughter, your daughter, she worked there for a while, and that was the coolest thing ever.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's special. It's special. And you go to New Orleans, you go to party. And I get that. I understand that. But man, if you can ever carve out some time, even if you get up early and all your buddies are going to be sleeping all day because they're all hungover, you get your ass up and get over to the museum. And if you spend 3 hours there, it's better than no hours there. Yeah. You need more time, but just go see it. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and they did expand it. And I went over the summer with my son, and you know, and he's a huge World War II fan. I mean, you're not a fan, but you know what I mean. Like, he loves the history of it. He loves the stories and stuff, and I explain shit to him all the time, and he does his own research now. So we went and walked through it together, which was insane because he has, you know, think about it. He's 15 now. He's so far removed from that. You know, people our age, we have probably grandparents that may have fought or served during that time period. So you had some firsthand stories occasionally that would bounce around at the Thanksgiving dinner table or whatever, you know what I mean? But he's so far removed at that point, you know? So it's like me telling him stories, it doesn't have the same impact, obviously, although he's curious. He's like, well, wait, grandfather, you know, my grandfather did what? And I explained it to him. He's like, what? That's insane. I'm like, I know, you know, and then you go to the museum and you start seeing it more. And it's just, it's good to see someone that age take an interest, because you know what? You got to understand history so you don't fuck it up again. Hopefully, you know, it is important. So next time you come to New Orleans, I'm doing a bigger commercial for them than I am for the damn pirate store. So anyway, there you go. It is awesome, man. That's why New Orleans is so great. We should be getting paid just for the mayor in New Orleans for all this shit we do for the city. Yeah, the city. We promote the fuck out of this place. That's all I got. I got nothing.
All right, Ginty.
Hell of a run.
Sick of your face.
It was a good one. I'm going to get more candy, though, because, man, I'm getting the sugar crash starting to hit me, man. I'm starting to fucking lose my step.
All right, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, great. If you didn't know, you can watch this on YouTube. It's Play Pants Pod, all the socials at Play Pants Pod. Wherever you get your podcasts, just look for us, and we're there. I do carry it on the Rod Ryan Show page at thebuzz.com. So it's everywhere. It's all over the place. So thank you guys, man. Download it. You know, if you want to like hit that deal where it like gives you It notifies you when we drop a new one and do all those things. But it's clutch for you to sign up though, or just to click the subscribe button is huge for us. So that's it. Thank you guys, man. Appreciate it.
Let's go. It's time. Put on pants.
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts. See us on our YouTube channel and follow our social media pages at PlayPantsPod.